I've been waiting for this for 10 years!
Oh no! Oh no! I just scared you about Hawaii!
It's arid. No, it's not. Arid is desert.
Stinks.
Arid is a desert.
If I say this water is water life,
Welcome back to the Gred podcast. I'm Reed.
I'm Sahara.
I'm worried.
Brock, keep that stint where Maury and I are staring at Sahara while she's on her phone. This is fucking funny.
We should just like awkwardly stare into the camera. Alright.
Reed did that to me this morning.
What? Oh, randomly stare at you?
Yeah.
Okay, well now you can't mention that and then not talk about it.
Who said I wasn't going to talk about it? I was at work explaining to my coworker
Look at us. Don't look at the
the
camera.
horrendous thing that Reed did.
This
Or
isn't
actually, it wasn't Reed.
Therapy.
This is therapy. So I had a shit day at work, and I just finished doing some stupid stuff, and then one of my coworkers made me look stupid in front of other coworkers and my store director, and I was mad. And I'm explaining this to my coworker, and I'm talking to her like this, and behind her, I just see Reed as he's pushing a cart, walking along, and she turns around and she's like, "Are you okay?
Deer in the headlights.
Do I need to call somebody?"
Yeah.
She's like, "Why is he looking at you like that?" I was like, "Don't worry, I know him." And she's like, "In a good way or a bad way? Are you safe?" And I was like,
God forbid a white man walk through Target.
Yeah.
we don't want to get a lot of white people there.
No, not really.
It's Reed. Just Reed.
Yeah, I'm like 90% of the
Of the white population?
white
Yeah.
population at Target. No, I mean,
Not
I know
white
5
men.
white people and you're 3 of them.
In different hats.
different hats. It's true. It's the Osimo hat and the yard hat. Or no, the Kermit drinking a beer hat. That's my favorite hat. I haven't worn it in a while.
I know, every time I've seen you, you've had this hat on.
I know, it's a good hat.
It's a good
Yeah,
hat.
it was a good hat.
They didn't have abstract Squidward, though. And I wanted abstract Squidward.
Yeah.
Disappointed.
Bold and brash Squidward?
Yeah, bold and brash. I have the actual pin.
Fake
My room.
fan. Me too.
I mean, it's...
Fake fan.
What do you mean? Abstract Squidward, you knew what I was talking about.
I guess. But it's the art style, not the actual painting.
I mean, yeah, it's a description of it's abstract Squidward. I don't know what the fuck. So difficult. Some more. You got a question?
Yeah. You know how when you really need to pee, and you're like in a public, let's say you're at Target, right? And you're like you just checked out and you really need to pee, and you go to the bathroom, so you start unzipping your fly, right?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Where's the threshold for where that's acceptable? Like where along that journey from, you're like, I need to pee, to the urinal, is it acceptable?
It depends how bad you have to pee. So I'm never gonna say out in the store in the store area. That's not okay. That's never.
That's a fast track to the sex offender
That's never
registry.
okay. But if you're inside the bathroom already, pulling
Assume.
to the walk down
Yeah.
to the bathroom to the stall, you know what I mean? That's fair.
Yeah.
So from the door to the urinal?
I mean,
I'd say as soon as your foot hits the threshold.
if you're gonna piss your pants, then yeah.
Yeah.
If you gotta save time to make it,
What about buckle?
I don't know. If you're just going for fly, then that's fine. But buckle,
What, buckle's worse than fly?
I feel it stresses people out more when you touching your buckle more so than your fly.
I
He's
think
got
it
a
is-
shy bladder, is
I
what I'm
think
hearing.
I think
Fuck
it is
you.
more dramatic. Sure. I think it is more dramatic.
It's more
to
attention getting
unbuckle.
and
They're like, is he gonna beat someone?
yeah.
If you
Yeah.
unbuckle,
That's what
It's
they're
more-
gonna think of.
you
That's
gotta
that's
fucking-
gonna flash in their brain like, oh, I was beaten as a child.
It also makes like a clink noise, you know.
Yeah, it's
You're
loud.
drawing attention to yourself, and then suddenly you don't have to pee anymore
What?
with your shy bladder. People looking at you, unbuckling your belt.
No, I'm just saying.
Now, is there an equivalent for women? Or you just start at the stall, you just close
Most
the
women
stall in
just
there.
close the stall, and
Or
like
you
women
don't-
who carry
when
a
you
purse.
when you get through the door, you don't start.
Well, see,
No.
like the problem is
No,
women's
because
clothes aren't designed for that.
sometimes you have to wait in line. Women's bathrooms almost always have a line,
Oh, yeah,
and that's a
true.
problem.
That's
And
true.
then women usually have a purse, and so they have to hang their purse on the little hook in the bathroom, and then they have to turn. Some women put the toilet seat covers, but people love to not restock those at Targets. Hater. Some of our card attendants don't even restock the toilet paper, and it's annoying. And then women have been using toilet seat covers and throwing them on the floor. It's disgusting. Women are disgusting. Anyway,
I concur. As
the
someone who
women's
used
bathroom
who
is
has to use
gross.
clean bathrooms at Albertsons, I found shit on the floor 4 times.
Oh, that happened this week.
3 times it was in the women's bathroom.
Yeah, my one of the executive team leads at my store was like, "Hey, Sahara, can you go in the bathroom and make sure everything looks okay? I don't want to have to call the cart attendant in to go clean the bathroom if it's okay." And I was like, "All right." So I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna go look, make sure we have like soap, toilet paper, like the normal stuff. Make sure there's not like a bunch of shit on the floor." And then I was like, "It looks fine." And he's like, "Oh, really? Okay." And then my coworker who went on lunch 20 minutes before and used the bathroom, she's like, it's fine. And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "There was shit on the floor." And I was like, "When? There wasn't shit on the floor now." So I don't know who picked up the shit, but it wasn't our card attendant. Pretty nasty. Anyways, back to the conversation. So once you have to like go through the whole procedures, then people like start pulling down their pants.
Yeah.
What if they don't have like a purse or
Uh-huh.
anything?
Oh, if they don't have a purse, then they just start pulling down their pants. If they don't do the toilet seat
But
cover.
where? At what
Inside the
point?
stall.
Inside the stall. So they wait till they get to see it. Not us. Not.
You guys don't even always use
can
a stall.
We can stand. That's the difference.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, but
some women can stand to pee, but it's not a lot.
Yeah, but even if you sat down,
What, is that wrong?
even if men sat down to pee, we'd still start unbuckling at the door or before.
But women
Some.
don't
I
do
think
that.
that might be. Yeah.
I think it's just a man thing. I don't think it
It
has to do
is.
with our biology. I think it's just
No, because what you're pitching in that scenario, no, I think most men would not buckle until they're in the stall if they had to sit to pee.
Yeah.
Because you're picturing that scenario from like the perspective of someone who could stand to pee now.
But I unbuckle at the door before I shit.
Okay, that's also a crisis. So
It's so crisis.
again, it just my rule is if it depends how bad.
I guess.
Okay, what if you really need to shit?
The buckle is coming off when I get into the bathroom and I'm making it to the stall.
Every time.
What do you mean?
I'm
Like
not waiting.
99% of the time.
But if I'm about to shit my pants, they're coming off when I feel like I need to get them
You're
off.
gonna walk in, butt
Walk
ass
through the-
naked,
yeah.
cheeks out, ready to shit.
Well, he doesn't want to get shit in his pants just in case he shits. So
I've
he's
seen-
going to use the shit to propel him forward to make him get to the bathroom faster.
Dude, I'll pull my pants
Picture
down to piss in the urinal.
South Park episode.
That's right.
I'll pull down my pants and piss in the urinal. Dude. I'll do it.
Like down to your knees.
Like butter.
I've only ever seen that once, and it was like elementary school. We had this
Well, that makes sense.
this kid with, I don't know, it was probably like either severe autism or some other thing. His name was Jack.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Every time I see someone that's saying Jack,
You think him?
yeah, I think I am. I was like, I can't take you seriously. I can't take you seriously.
I've
I
lost
picture-
respect for you, even though I
Yeah,
don't know who you
I
are.
picture walking into the bathroom and seeing a dude with his pants around his ankles pissing in the urinal.
Fucking,
With too
I-
many jacks at my
the
store for you
I was in middle school the
for your
last time I
birthday.
saw it, and that person, they were peeing in the bathroom, and someone fucking Sparta kicked them in the ass as they were peeing.
That's a good one.
Damn.
It's a good retort. A good retaliation, for the cognitive flashbang that is walking into that,
I mean, I guess.
Yeah. Just like
Were you just standing there, or were you next to them pissing?
No, I was washing my hands.
Oh, okay.
So like I had already pissed and I was
Uh-huh.
washing my
looking
hand,
in
and
the mirror.
they came into the bathroom. They came to the bathroom. Like I looked down. Like when I looked up, no one's there. I looked down, look back up, they're there with their pants down.
And Reed's like, damn, he got his cheeks out. Looks back down to finish washing his hands, and he's getting Spartan kicked in the ass.
Yeah, it's fucking brutal.
That's crazy. That's cool. It's interesting.
Yeah, there was also no dividers in between the urinals.
Really?
Yeah, I don't get the schools that do that.
Yeah. Was it one of the ones that the urinals go all the way to the ground?
No.
I hate those. Those are the worst, dude.
Have you seen at? I mean,
Oh,
I could
like
understand
stadiums?
it like at stadiums, the piss trough. That's different. That's the piss trough.
That's
Yeah.
not that bad. Especially because
But it makes sense.
it's enclosed a little bit. You don't get as much splashback.
It's true.
You just piss into
Women's
the trough.
bathroom at stadiums does not make sense.
They haven't figured out the piss trough for women yet.
No, so when I
Damn it.
went
Like
to the concert at Pechanga Arena where we went to the hockey game,
Uh-huh.
so there's less women's bathrooms than men's bathrooms. First off, for every 2 men's bathrooms, there's 1 women's bathroom. Rookie mistake right there. Women, there's just a line. The line was out the door and around. So when you walk into the women's bathroom, so all the women in line thought the exact same thing, that it like looped around. Like, you know how some bathrooms like at the zoo has like the 2 sides, but it loops around, and then like 2 doors.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, not the case at all. So you walk in, and so you see like the mirrors and the sinks and everything, and you're like, oh, okay, that goes around to the other side. You can just go to all the bathrooms. No. There's the nook of bathrooms and the sinks, and there's like 8 stalls right there. And then you go back, and there's no exit in this part. And there's 8 more stalls, but no sinks. So everyone waiting in line was like, I'm waiting for the bathroom. It loops around. Everyone's taking forever. And I noticed this and was like, there's nobody in those bathrooms. It doesn't loop around. And I got so mad. I got out of line. I was like, guys, all of these are open.
Women.
You know, you can tell it's a man's. What?
Sipping the tea.
You can tell it's a man's world because they haven't made the piss trough for women unacceptable.
That's because women are going to have to squat down over them.
I mean, who says?
Or it's going to run down their leg. Do you want piss running down your
No,
leg?
they could figure it out. Figure out the piss trough for women. We just
It's
there's
a bunch of communal shiwis.
I mean, it should pretty much be like a funnel, but
That's what a shiwi is, brother.
I guess.
Like road trips. So, yeah. You gotta piss in a bottle. Gotta get the funnel on there. Looks like a respirator. Imagine that.
Oh
Keep that in your head.
Do you
no!
know what a pure wick is?
No.
Oh great!
This infomercial comes on all the time, and it makes me so
Why is
uncomfortable.
it Sahara?
Because sometimes
It's every time
people-
it's something gross. It's Sahara. You remember the vehicle?
Are we
I
bleeping
remember.
That
that
was
out,
you.
Brock?
I remember.
I know it was me, brother.
That was you that
I
made
remember
me
the
learn about
Vajinkle.
that.
You're welcome. You know who taught me about that? Trevor Wallace. Okay, so anyway, so this infomercial comes on all the time, and it's meant for older women. So you know how a catheter works, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a non-invasive catheter,
A balloon.
essentially.
Take it out.
It's a urine collection system, and it looks like this. I'll send these pictures to Brock if he
It's like
wants them.
Fucking toothbrush.
Yeah.
And then it connects to this by your bedside, and
Okay.
it collects your piss. And it has this long ass, like 8-minute long infomercial that runs during daytime television. And all the senoras that I work with, they like to watch General Hospital. And it runs during General Hospital. And sometimes they leave their lunch and they leave it on this channel. And it plays. And then I go on lunch and then I see it. And I'm like, God damn it. And then I change it.
It's just I'm thinking of like an SNL skit where they have those ads, and it's just like people pissing their pants in public, but they have like a diaper on or something. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, there's people
What?
who fetishize it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
They're just like walking their dog in the park, and they're like, oh, they just piss themselves.
I don't know.
There is a guy
fuck?
that's on Instagram, and it's like one of those accounts that it's like doing this for however many days until so and so respond.
Yeah.
I forget who's he's trying to. Oh, it's pissing my pants every day until Mr. Beast gives me $100,000, and it starts with the angle of his crotch, and then he pees his pants, and he's like, Mr. Beast.
Nice. I've seen
I'm like, what is
I've seen
that?
the guy that day drinks and smokes cigarettes in a parking lot.
That's fun.
Yeah, and he's like, I love my job because I get to day drink and smoke cigarettes all the time, and I love my job because I get to day drink. And he just says it every single episode. But like his like he has YouTube and like Instagram, and he just every single
his
episode,
shtick.
I'm going to day drink and smoke cigarettes. He did like a collaboration with some other guy on Instagram. Guess what they did?
Day drink,
Yeah.
smoke cigarettes.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Wall of Sound guy?
yeah, I have.
I love that
Oh,
guy.
yeah.
Yep.
Love that guy. He looks like he day
I
drinks and
want to know
smokes
what
cigarettes.
I think he runs. I
What
think
does
he
he
runs a
do?
guitar shop or something like that. Maybe an amp, maybe a
Maybe.
speaker store.
Works at a guitar center or something. He's just behind there.
I went.
Yeah,
Okay. The guitar I bought that I meant to learn to play, but I
I
didn't.
was like, hold
the one
on.
that's
Let's...
just hanging up on the wall.
Yeah, that's pretty much become a wall decoration because I haven't had the time to learn it.
Yeah, the way you and like every other man.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm gonna do that.
Next episode, he's
Yeah.
gonna sing Wonderwall as Kermit.
Yeah.
2 days. No, we're not gonna do it.
I said
But
it's Kermit.
yeah, you said next episode. But
It's no fun.
the one time I went there, someone's car caught on fire while I was in the store. It was
The
great.
guitar center.
So
The
like
one
a
like
person
right
came
here?
in and store. Whoever owns the Honda Civic, your car's on fire.
Well, the owner of the white sedan, your lights are on.
Pretty much.
Dude, last night my boss comes out of her office, and I'm at my desk and I'm about to leave, and she goes, last night was crazy. And I was like, what happened? Like, I left and I was just like, okay, what happened?
got,
In
like,
the
blood
few
on her
hours,
face.
no, like I left at like 6:30, so from 6:30 to 10 o'clock, what happened? So this guy smashed his hand in his car door so bad that he was bleeding and his hand was crushed. So he comes into the store and he's bleeding. And our APETL saw this on the camera and he's like, yo, we got to check on that guy. He runs into the bathroom and he's like trying to wash the blood off, I guess. I don't know. Because you don't wash the blood off, but okay, go off, girl boss. And so he's in the bathroom. He looks down at his hand and he freaked out and he fainted and hit his head on the floor.
He died?
No, he got rushed to a hospital though.
Oh.
I think.
He probably fine. He probably broke his hand.
Maybe.
Oh,
I mean, my
It
friend
sounds like it.
smushed her hand in the car door and like her nail was like
Oh, well.
purple.
Mhm.
No, it took
Yeah.
forever to fall off. She had to get
Oh,
stitches on the side of her nail bed, and like it was through her nail that they had to do the stitches. And she had to drive all the way to her house because they only had one car at the time.
Mhm.
And then her husband drove her and the baby to the hospital, and she held the baby while getting stitches. And I was like, damn, that's kind of badass.
What the
That
fuck
is
was
kinda
he
bad.
doing?
Shitting.
Xbox, bro.
Shitting.
Eating a pizza.
And the camera pans over. He's sitting in the corner playing on a Steam Deck.
Yeah. Is it over yet?
Push, honey. Yeah, I'm getting stitches. No, push though.
Right. You're doing really good.
What's
Uh-huh.
for dinner? But no, and then
Hey, can you make me a sandwich?
but then her nail stayed on through having the stitches. She got her stitches out, and it took a hot minute for it to fall off. Like, damn, your nail's pretty sturdy. But yeah,
The time
Scared.
I broke my toe while at work. Didn't
did
get
you
work.
go to work still?
Yeah.
Mm,
Oh, it was
interesting.
epic. When I tried to get, I was like, oh, I don't think I'm gonna come in tomorrow. And they're like, why? I'm like, I broke my toe. And they're like, really? You broke your toe? And
Which
I just
toe?
pulled off my shoe, pulled off my sock. It was purple, and I was like, I just win the argument.
Middle toe.
Yeah, it was one of the middle toes.
Damn.
I wear steel toes now, so that can't happen.
Smart.
Camel toes.
What?
Hmm?
Camel toes?
Dude, I had a coworker
I
that
rocked
wore
the
those.
camel toes one.
The
I
ones
had
with
this
the thumb that are
coworker.
separate from them.
That's crazy. So when I started at Target, I started in holiday season of 2023, and so I was one of the first holiday hires. So after me was all these other holiday hires that were just like getting worse and worse. I mean, a lot of them were great workers, but like their personalities weren't great. But then we had some real personality hires. This one guy,
No, those are the best kind of hires.
one of my favorites. I saw him recently, and I was so excited to see that he was still wearing the same shoes. Okay, so he had this like utility vest, and it was very tactical looking, and it was full of stuff, and he couldn't find his multi-tool, and he's like, "Where's my multi-tool?" He's like, "I can't go to the floor without my multi-tool."
That's autism, dude.
And I was like, you know what? Okay.
Yeah, no, it's like a safety latch. Like
That's autism. 1 in 12.5 in California people have autism.
that makes sense.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I
1 in
saw
12.5.
saw a thing where someone was I think it was RFK. He was talking about like how the rate of autism has gone up,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like okay, the problem is you can't really trust these numbers because
More people are getting diagnosed.
more people are getting diagnosed. It was underreported, and
Mhm.
also they figured out more ways to check for it.
And they stopped giving lobotomies.
That too, because it's like
That was like in the 60s.
that was the 1920s. No, it's
For a
40s.
lobotomy.
Yeah, people with
Anyways.
ADHD, they're like, I know what solved this problem: electricity.
Which?
Which? Because you'd be right next to me.
Yeah, I would.
So so would you. They throw you.
No, he'd be burning us.
He has
Hello.
he has
Yeah,
OCD.
I'd
No,
be
he's
there.
with us. They also threw people.
No, he'd be like,
can pretend.
"You're burning them wrong."
I can pretend. I can
Dude,
hide it.
they
You
go
tied
to-
him
Y'all are
wrong.
fucked.
They
I
go-
can pretend.
They go into your room. They go into your room and they turn something and you go, but you quickly turn back and they're like,
No, I just wait for them to leave and just like shake, like a chihuahua. I just like shake till they leave.
Whoa.
And then
There's layers to
and
that
they
one right
do
there.
that trick where they go,
I-
and then you move it and they go,
like the red scare.
yeah.
Do you want to share these chips? Yeah, sure.
Y'all want it.
Communist.
Whoa.
Yesterday I actually saw a video of it's this Indian scammer and he's like sitting on the ground and like calling someone.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to scam her. This lady, and then in the comments I put a Sam Hyde quote. I was like, I'm not racist, but I got racial hang-ups. If I got a call and it's Indian, I hang up.
Is it still up?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So that coworker with the multi-tool,
Mhm.
Yeah.
he also, so we used to give out red vests instead of like you wearing a regular shirt, but like people weren't giving them back, and the whole thing was like we loan it to you
Mhm.
and then we wash them. People weren't washing them or giving them back, so we stopped handing them out. And this guy had a red vest, but underneath his red vest he wore a koala hoodie. And by a koala hoodie, I don't mean like koalas on his chest.
No, the koala
I mean
gray,
it was
right?
fuzzy,
Oh.
gray, and had a tail, and it poked out from his vest. And my coworker, who's HR as well, and I would be like, "Did you see what he's wearing today?"
We're gonna have to ask you to weave.
And then one day he came in dressed all in black. He looked like a ninja. He had like these tight black pants that were like borderline leggings, and then his shoes were always the same. They were
But he
black.
wasn't Dominican.
No,
Oh,
he's Filipino. and
Well,
and then his shoes, you know, like Reed's like one shoes that he wears that are like all the stretchy stuff.
I don't have them anymore, but I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
no idea. I never. look
Okay,
at his
he put them
shoes.
on like socks.
Oh, they're like they're like boots, but they're waterproof. They're Vessi.
Yeah.
Don't buy Vessies; they destroy your feet.
Period. Anyway, so they were like that material, but they were the camel toe shoes.
Mm.
And he wore those to work truck every day, to throw boxes every day. And I was like, dude, why are you wearing those? And then after a year, I saw him recently, and I guess he works for a different part of Target now. I don't know what he's doing. He might just be like doing DoorDash.
warehouse worker.
No.
Oh.
No, because that's at the store.
Sounds like working out in jeans.
But with those
Going to the gym in jeans. You know?
with those Vessies, the only reason why I had them is because they were waterproof.
Uh-huh.
And something about my socks getting wet makes me irrationally angry.
Okay.
Like
Wear jungle boots like you're in fucking Vietnam. Dude.
Dude, speaking of Nam,
I want to see
There.
where this
The
segues.
earthquake. The earthquake.
How is not
I was
the
at
segue
work.
for this?
I was at work and I was like, this is my Nam. This is the
Okay.
most traumatizing thing that has ever happened to me at Target.
How's that related?
That segue was so long it felt like a fucking roller
Is
coaster.
that like airstrike?
So
It felt like I was
Airstrikes.
in Vietnam and they were dropping Agent Orange on us.
no, yeah,
That's what it felt like.
because you could hear the rumble before the building shook,
Yeah.
and so we have a lot of lockers, and our lockers are broken, so they're all locked for some reason. They're open, but they're locked, and I'm not fixing it. I'm not fixing it. If you want it fixed, you can fix it yourselves, because y'all did it. Anyway, I'm not your mom. Pisses me off. Anyways, so
You're
all
not
the
there.
all the
You're not there. You're here.
no,
It's
yeah.
over.
It's
The
over now.
lockers
It's over now,
shook
Sahara.
so bad. Before anything else shook, the lockers were shaking. I was like, what the hell? And then we have this equipment room, and it's these devices. The devices alone are my nom. They're zebra devices, and if you don't plug
Being
them
real
in all the
liberal
way,
with that phrase, huh?
Yeah.
I am. I hate them because when we've had blackouts, those all get disconnected from the charger, and you don't want to be in there. You don't want to be there because they make this awful noise. And instead of making that awful noise, they make a complete different awful noise when there's an earthquake.
Oh, it's fine.
And all 75 of them that were left in the lockup were all going off.
At my work when it happened, first we didn't feel anything. Then like the roof started making a shitload of noise.
Mm-hmm.
Then we started feeling something.
Yeah.
And then after that, after the earthquake had finished, the Amber Alert started going off. Which
Amber Alert.
yeah, there's not
The
Amber
alert on
Alert.
your phone.
Emergency
Yeah.
alert, whatever.
Yeah.
Someone stole the earthquake.
Someone kidnapped it.
Someone stole our tectonic plate
Bro, someone kidnapped the earthquake.
for a 2001 Corolla.
Bro, this is a
Corolla
problem.
Altima.
We don't know how they did it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but something about being in a public place with all of the alerts going off at the same time is like
It's interesting.
it's like you're in a horror movie a bit.
Mhm.
It reminds me of I think we played that Ready or Not level in the club, the nightclub. You remember that?
Vaguely.
Ready or Not, where you go in and there's a mass shooting in the nightclub, and when you go in, you see everyone's phones and they're all ringing.
Oh,
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah,
that is sad.
it's like it'll say like mom, or like dad, or like sister or
That's
something.
crazy.
I remember fucking Jack Ryan did that,
Really?
and there's like a terrorist attack in the show, and then all the people that die in it, their phones start going off.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's brutal.
No, and then a natural disaster is happening. A 6 point something earthquake that got decreased to a 5 point something earthquake is happening. And you know what these people are doing? They're still shopping.
I mean,
They're
what the
still
fuck are they
shopping.
supposed to do?
It's shaking. They're not like, oh, I need cover.
What
They're
are you
like,
gonna do?
you know what?
Run from
You
the
know what?
earth?
I need
Right?
that shredded wheat right there. Can you stop hunkering for cover? I need that.
Hey.
Hey, where's this?
I mean,
And then like
To
stuff
be
was
fair.
flying off the shelves. But what was the worst part is we have 3 back rooms in our store, and so the big metal aisles were shaking so violently, boxes were falling off.
meanwhile,
And people, our morning team who handles the back room mostly, was back there, and they were like, "Get out the aisles! Get out the aisles! Get out the aisles!" on the walkie. And I was like, "What?" And then one of our light fixtures in the back room came off the ceiling and was swinging.
This is good. Okay.
I mean,
Okay. Well, what are
interesting.
the people
I mean,
supposed to
no.
do though? I mean,
like,
like,
next,
Get away from the
because
swinging,
by the time
the swinging light.
I mean,
well,
sure.
say they start moving towards you're supposed to go outside when you're inside a building in an earthquake, right?
Mhm.
Dude, it lasted
Or a
like
doorway.
5 seconds.
Yeah, you're not gonna
Yeah.
get anywhere. You're gonna
No,
get to the
when
front
we-
by the time, and then it's over by
Yeah.
the time you get
You're
there.
fucked, right?
Yeah, I mean,
When it happened
Yeah.
to me, I was in my living room, and my dog was like by the door, and he just like, what the fuck? And I just like, oh, all right. And then I called him over, and I just stood like in a door frame or something.
yeah, that's what we
You know,
did.
I
Yeah,
stood
what
in
I did-
I was in my
strongest part
office.
of my house, which is like the middle is like this hallway that's completely brick all over. So I just stood right there.
What I did is
Yeah.
I was in the vitamins department at my work when that happened, and I just stood in between like the ceiling lights, so in case one fell, they wouldn't follow me. And that's it.
Yeah, that's what makes sense. Like not standing next to the aisle as it's shaking and things are falling off of it is like kind of common sense.
Man, they got some busted aisles.
I mean,
Nothing fell off the wall at Sprouts.
What's
tell you what.
the? I mean,
not on the
what's
floor.
What's
If it was
the aisle?
overstocked,
Is it like weightlifting equipment?
oh,
Or
it
is
wouldn't have
or is
fallen
it
off.
Fruit Loops.
But like the
you know?
glass
Gonna-
products,
Glass could
I mean,
be
sure,
bad.
yeah.
Yeah.
The glass could be bad. And
Like
then,
if you're in the liquor aisle.
Albertsons or something.
yeah, and then one of our employees saw me cleaning up a spill from something that fell off the shelf, and it poured all 18 ounces of the liquid all over the floor, and it's soapy liquid.
No, oh, soapy liquid, can't drink that. Never mind.
I was like, that's crazy. And he's like, was
Yeah,
that from the
tasted.
earthquake? But the way he said it was like, earthquake? And I was like, yeah, we had an earthquake. Yeah, like,
Was that what that was?
and he's like, no, was that from the earthquake? And I was like, oh, you should have said it that way. I can't read your mind.
Yeah, from the ocean.
Was it the
Oh, yeah,
earthquake?
from the earthquake.
He's like, brother. But something really cool is that our time clock changed screens, and instead of being like the emergency alert came through on the My devices quite quickly, the zebras. I got mine as those were going off, but the time clock changed, and it was a map of where the earthquake was happening, and
That's
it gave
neat.
like instructions.
That's neat.
It was pretty neat.
Yeah. You know, I think I need to get a Barrett 50 cal in case another earthquake happens, so I can shoot the earth, so it stops moving. Speaking of guns, Maury's topic.
What?
All right. Anyway, let's just move past it. Anyways,
In my head, I was trying to work out how to transition the topic.
as,
and I'm
as
like,
you were like moving through that, as you were maneuvering that sentence, I was like thinking of like, where is this?
Where the fuck is
I was like,
going?
is he trying to like play a prank on his neighbors? So like it's nuclear war.
no, it's just
I
a
wasn't
war.
ready for shooting the earth.
The war's
Well,
begun.
someone's got to stop making it move. Sorry. That's so
So,
stupid.
anyways,
That someone is Reed.
That someone is Reed
I'm reading
with
it.
his Barrett. I'm reading it with his Barrett 50 cal.
some more topic.
Anyways, who? Well, what's your opinions? Your guys' opinion on guns? Do you guys like them? And if you, who should have them and who shouldn't?
I think okay. Well, I don't really have an issue with guns. My issue with guns is people are stupid, and often aren't trained well around how to be responsible around guns and such. And also, like they'll be like this, and it's like, come on,
Yeah, you talk about Matt. You always reference Matt Duclos
dude.
when he.
God,
That was a BB gun.
yeah, that was a BB gun, but it's still pretty bad
And
because
to be fair, it was also funny. So
it was
Did
fun.
he do it to you?
No,
No.
so what
Oh.
happened is
Then I'm
Matty
disappointed.
Duclos, he had the detective Matt. He had an airsoft revolver, and he was shooting it, going blah 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 blah, and then I think he ran out, and then he just turns and points it in David's face, right in his fucking eye, and then
That close?
yeah,
Okay.
I think somebody swatted it from him because it was stupid.
I think David did, or
I don't know.
yeah, I think it
I
That makes
remember we were kind of in group standing ish, kind of like standing in a circle,
maybe,
so it could have really been anybody.
Yeah.
But ever
Yeah.
since that image has been in my head, just Matty Duclos with a gun.
What's your opinion?
So, as a kid, I grew up around guns. Like, I went to gun shows with my papa when I was really little. Like, 4 years old, going to gun shows.
Mhm.
And, like, in the garage, like, in part of the garage, I wasn't allowed over there as a kid because that was my papa's gun cabinets. But in my Barbie stuff, I did have empty shotgun shells. So, like, I knew about it. I knew they were there. I wasn't allowed to touch them. Like, I was raised with gun safety.
Shotgun shells
But-
in Barbie Land. Jesus Christ,
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty
Hell
good.
yeah. But also...
Barbie Land, Detroit.
I
Michigan.
also had my dad's the little toy LAV my dad had, the replica of the one that he drove in Iraq. Also in Barbie Land. Anyways, but I think as long as you're gonna be
Barbie.
smart
Let's
with
go
it,
Barbie.
it's fine.
Barbie in Afghanistan. That should be a movie.
You know what?
Barbie and
Bring back the Barbie movies.
Yeah, just do that. But and instead, after she becomes a person, she just goes to war.
Yeah, they should just
Instead
do
of the
one.
gynecologist.
They should do a movie where it's just
crazy.
like her pursuing different professions,
Mhm.
and one of them's going to war.
Going to
Just-
Desert
just
Storm.
Going to
Yeah,
war,
she's a Cav Scout.
full committing war crimes.
Yeah,
Because Barbie doesn't have a.
It's just
Tying up Ken.
It's just Apocalypse Now, but Barbie's in it.
And like constantly, the Barbie theme is played.
Yeah.
A little too much for the watcher.
You know what? I'm here for it.
Like as she's killing somebody, come on, Barbie, let's go party.
Yeah.
Like
plays
the
over the radio.
stabs are synced up to fucking.
It plays over the radio, and it's like super. It's like slowed down, so it sounds.
Also,
fucking-
they
like
put-
all apocalyptic.
They put like
and
reverb
Yeah.
on it, so it's like
It's like in the distance, like right over
Brock.
that hill.
you know what to do.
But
no, we're not making Brock do
Charlie
that.
started playing the Barbie theme. 'cause
Brock,
they knew what was
don't
there.
do. You don't have. Let's go party.
Yeah.
Anyways, I had a neighbor because I lived in Indiana, so a lot of people had guns out there. But my neighbor got into an argument with my mom about gun safety, and he was like, "I have an AR-15 because I hunt deer with it." And my mom looked at him and goes,
AR-15 to hunt deer. You suck. You kind of
"She's
suck.
like, no." She's like, "How much of the deer is gonna be left?"
Oh,
He didn't like that. He unfriended her off Facebook after that.
I mean that's also a good argument.
It's a great argument, but I think as
Like-
long as you're being safe with it and not being stupid, I think it's fine.
Because he doesn't
I think
sound
if you give a
responsible.
gun to like the local schizophrenic man,
That's
what are
probably.
you doing?
Yeah.
Wait, that's a problem.
There was literally a mass shooting today.
But
5.56 would actually not do as much as what people
That was
use to
really
hunt
brutal,
deer.
too.
Normally,
What?
people use 308. What?
what?
We're just sitting here, and he's like, "There was a mass shooting today." As Maury starts.
Well, you said no. You said don't give a gun to local schizophrenic. I was like, yeah, there was a mass shooting today.
yeah, I said
That's
really
probably
brutal,
what
yeah.
happened. Someone who was mentally unwell got a gun. But
Potentially,
Probably
yeah.
from his parents.
probably they gotta
Yeah.
hold those people responsible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I 100% agree that we should start holding the parents responsible. What was the other one that we held the parents responsible for the school shooting?
Is it
Yeah, we
Parkland?
personally held them.
Yeah,
account-
I
You're
found
welcome.
them, and I
um,
don't worry, I handled it.
yeah.
Yeah,
was-
you not this one.
No, I
There
think
was
I
there
think
was
it was in Denver.
Somewhere.
I think it was Parkland. The mother had a TED talk about my son committed a mass shooting.
Yeah, doesn't play great.
It didn't go well.
What's his
Didn't
name?
go over well.
Oh yeah, they deleted that.
Did it?
Yeah, they took down that TED talk.
I want to watch it.
Anyways, you were saying, I mean, I don't want to nerd out, but 5.56 would probably not do that much to a deer compared to what they actually use for hunting.
Actually,
Yeah.
5.56 won't doing that much.
308 is what they use, which is way bigger than 5.56.
I mean, yeah, but I'm guessing this dude sucks at shooting.
yeah.
Because if you're using an AR to hunt, because he's not going
Maybe.
pop, pop, pop. He's going blah, 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 until it stops.
That's not necessarily true.
Okay,
just
you
shoot
knew this
one.
man. What is he going pop, 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 or?
Well, if he wants the meat, because he also used to make deer jerky,
Uh-huh.
he had a whole deer fridge in his
Yeah,
garage.
you shoot at the shoulder.
Yeah.
One shot in the shoulder.
So
that's
if
it.
he was practicing it
Right behind the
safely,
shoulder.
like
I don't know.
I
Yeah.
don't really care as long as I mean it's his choice, but like saying that it's a hunting rifle is crazy. I mean, it's a
Using
different
for-
kind of hunting rifle.
Using for hunting's kind of wild.
You can use any
It
gun for
depends.
hunting.
It
You
depends
really
what you're
can.
hunting with that.
You can
though.
use a slingshot to hunt.
You could convince me
You
for
can.
to use that on an alligator or whatchamacallits, javelinas.
I mean,
Isn't it?
you can't
Not
really
gonna
use a
really do
9mm to
anything.
hunt bear.
Oh, bear stew.
Sure,
What do
but
you
you can use a
to
fucking
the bear?
You can use an elephant
I mean,
gun
I
on
could.
To the bear?
No, the bear. Go down low. Shoot it in the balls.
Get your ass on the ground. To the bear?
Yeah, you can. I mean, what I'm saying is, you can use a 9mm. You can't use a 9mm to hunt a bear, but you can use like a fucking
Yeah, no,
RPG
like a hand
to
cannon
hunt
or
a
something.
bear.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
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 I
Like
mean,
overkill is fine when it comes to
Yes.
hunting,
I guess.
If that's your goal.
but you
Also, that
you physically cannot hunt with
Wouldn't-
something that is too low of caliber.
I
Yeah,
guess.
you have to
But
match
also,
it
wouldn't
to
that
what
be
you're hunting.
expensive level of hunting
What?
with an AR compared?
5.56 is like the cheapest
Oh.
round.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
See, this is why
9mm is like, I think like 75% more expensive than.
Huh.
It's because the metal is heavier. It's like 120 grain for 9mm, 120 ball
Let's see.
compared to like 90 something grain for 5.56.
Huh.
But yeah. Anyways, do you have something to say?
Yeah, like my best friend's house, they live in Washington. Her husband's in the military. But like I know that they have like guns all over their house, and like I know where like 2 are. I'm not allowed to know where all of them
Well,
are.
they need those guns for Bigfoot. So
Hey, she almost shot their friends that lived with them at the time because they didn't say they were coming home, and they came in the house while she was with the baby, and she was like, "Who the hell?" And then
That's reasonable.
yeah, no, she was gonna protect her home anyways. But like,
which is why I always tell you, like, don't
Don't just show up.
Don't do the best man thing for my bachelor party and try and kidnap me, because I will
Oh.
shoot you.
yeah,
yeah,
You
no,
know?
I can see it.
I try to visualize how to do it, and it takes like I would need to pay people. I think I need to pay
You're
a
gonna
couple
pay
muscle
people to
bros.
die?
I will stab someone.
Yeah, that's
Someone
what I
will
was
get
thinking.
stabbed if you try to kidnap me.
He has
At
his
least.
knife right now.
And that's why I come
At
out.
least someone's
first and
getting
I
punched.
stab.
I mean, they need to have.
Someone's
they need
gonna
to
get
sign
hurt.
waivers. They need to sign
Yeah.
waivers.
Yeah, they're gonna sign waivers.
I'm fine. They
I'm
need to sign
fine.
waivers.
They're gonna have chainmail. We'll be fine.
All right, then.
Slay.
Some HEMA armor. You know what that is?
No, they're just gonna. I'm
HEMA is
assuming-
like modern medieval fighting. It's really
Mhm.
sick.
No, they sell these like cut gloves. So I'm gonna get.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
The cut resistant, stab resistant.
Anyways, but like some people just knowing guns are in the home would get anxiety, but like
I
other
get
people
it.
feel safer. But like I just like I'm like okay, as
I-
long as they're safe.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
think if you own a gun, you should also have a gun safe.
Yeah, that's
I
what my
think
friend got her husband.
that
for
should be
Christmas.
a law. That should have to be a law.
It is a law in the
good.
well
In the state of California.
in the state of California. You either have to have a safe or
You need
where you buy the gun from needs to sell you a lock for your gun that goes through.
you need you
That's
need
cool.
something.
Yeah.
You need
That's
something
smart.
to lock it up.
Yeah.
That shouldn't just be a California law. That should be
No, it should be everywhere.
an everywhere law.
Because like the babies that are getting into their parents' guns and like shooting their siblings.
Yeah, that's
That's crazy. That's poor parenting. Like the one child that the gun was in his
Yeah, no,
backpack and he was like
think
4.
I think the parents went. I think the parents got in trouble for that one.
What
They
are they going
should.
to do? Arrest the 4-year-old for grabbing the gun and
I
shooting their
mean-
sibling?
You're going away for a long time, kid.
The cops on his knees arresting the child.
You son of a bitch. You're going away for a long time.
Anyways.
So, here's my point of view. Right?
Yeah.
People
listen.
argue that the Second Amendment should be only for protecting your house. Right? The issue is that wasn't the purpose of it to begin with. The founding fathers actually didn't want people to have guns because, as Doctor Who said, what's to protect your glorious revolution from the next one, right?
Mhm.
They didn't want another one to come around, but they knew that even if they had a strong military, they just fought a strong military and won.
Mhm.
They knew that there was going to be way more armed civilians
Uh-huh.
than there are armed people in the military,
Uh-huh.
which is why more people needed to have guns in order to protect the country.
Mhm.
There's 100 million people in the U.S. that own guns, that own a firearm.
That's
at least
Mhm.
that's
100 million,
that's what that they know about too.
Yeah.
That number is likely high.
and it's a rate of I think 12 per person, 12 guns per person owned in the U.S.
That's right.
So there's some people that have
America.
that have like 40, and that obviously throws it off, right?
Yeah.
But for every single person,
So
no, I think it's
Some people be the Punisher and they
Yeah.
walk in there. They have the full rack.
it might just be
Like
like
in the movie we
1.2 or something. I think it's 1.2 per person, so more than one,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah.
And that's compared to 1 million people in the military
They're
And-
gonna lose.
and 900,000
Like-
LE law enforcement.
And also, I feel like a decent amount of the some of the law enforcement will flip. I feel.
Oh, yeah.
Public.
I
And also,
remember,
some of the military will probably.
Oh
flip.
yeah, absolutely. I remember
Yeah.
I was in basic when January 6th happened, and my drill sergeants were like, if they call me over there, I ain't doing shit. I'm helping them. I ain't doing
mean,
shit over
yeah.
there.
Yeah. Make a wall. That's right. That's probably all they'd want. Here's riot gear. Push them out.
But anyways, my point is that the Second Amendment is not just like to protect your home and whatnot. It's to protect the country as a whole. It is a part of our national defense.
Mhm.
One of the reasons that the U.S. is uninvadable is because even if they somehow manage to destroy our entire military infrastructure, they still have 100 million people in the U.S. You ever seen Wolverines?
Didn't we get invaded one time? It was a long ass time ago, but
Maybe.
The War of 1812. The British got us, and they burned down the White House.
Was it?
Yeah,
Don't leave me.
they got us. They burned down the White House.
I thought it was like
The War of 1812. We picked the fight. We were like, oh, we fucking beat them the first time. We can do it again. They were ready for our shit.
Yeah.
that was the French or something.
No, it was the British.
Was it British? Well, we won anyway.
Yeah.
At that time, the French were having their own issues.
Yeah.
Well, I think during then was Napoleon's rise to power or something like that, or they were still on that unpopular
That's one of those
government.
crazy things where it's like, the timelines just don't add up. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Just like, I think during our Civil War, Beethoven was still alive.
Yeah.
Which is fucking crazy.
Crazy historical fact: a samurai could have sent a fax
Mhm.
to Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
Mhm. Wasn't there another part of that? There was
There's a
another.
bunch of those.
Yeah.
But
The South is responsible for samurais not being around anymore, because they gave the Japanese government their ironclads.
Huh.
Yeah,
No wonder.
and then they're like, well,
That makes sense. Yeah.
we can't fucking
Yeah.
Hiya!
Yeah. You can't
Boom.
can't shoot arrows at an ironclad.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, I think it's not just our right; it is everyone's duty to own a firearm and know how to use it.
But the problem is, okay, I wouldn't say duty. I'd say if you want one, get one. That's where I'm at. I don't think someone has to have a gun.
I'm not saying we should force people. I think it should be like talked about.
Yeah, you should.
In the way that you're talking about it in more of a positive way.
Yeah.
And like, what if the South Koreans invade us? You know, or North Koreans? Sorry, I'm tired. Anyways, the North Koreans come in and invade us. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do if you don't have anything?
Well, I'm gonna get my handgun, and I'm probably gonna outshoot most of them. I believe in.
But that's in the scenario you do have a firearm.
Oh, yeah,
but what about the
Yeah.
people who do not have a firearm?
Yeah. What are they gonna do?
They're gonna feel
Stab
silly.
them.
They're gonna take their
They have stormtrooper
kitchen
aim.
knives.
Just
They're
run
gonna
at
be like,
them.
And
They have. Shit
I
in.
don't think we should force people
no.
to have it. Sure, but it is everyone's duty. They don't have to.
Yeah, but when you
they should.
say duty, it implies a requirement.
No.
Kinda.
No.
Not really, but it makes people feel more compelled.
Not
to.
a legal requirement, a moral requirement.
Yeah.
For sure.
I don't even think it's a moral requirement.
I think everyone
I've-
should. I think an armed society is a polite society.
Guess.
I think if you feel comfortable, then I say do it. But if
Well,
you don't feel comfortable,
If
then-
everyone in Walmart had a gun, there would be a lot less shit going on in Walmart every day.
No, a lot more people
No.
would be getting shot inside Walmart. Yeah.
no,
Sure.
you know,
Because a lot, how
You
stupid
know-
people
would
are.
fucking
Yeah.
behave.
You know
Okay,
how
so
stupid
where I
people
grew
are,
up-
they're just gonna be like,
of course.
"Are you
people-
fucking running your mouth at me,
Of course.
motherfucker?" And then one of them's gonna pull out. One's gonna pull out a gun. Someone's getting shot.
And,
Well-
and guess what? It would be, statistically, it would be the same rate as the rate of people stabbing each other.
yeah, probably would.
Yeah,
See,
but instead, bullets can go through people and keep going and hit other shit.
I mean, if they walk in with an AR,
if I impale you with
An
a
AR
sword,
can
I
go
can
through
impale
people.
more too.
Yeah, but you'd have to get the angle right. It's harder.
same with a gun.
That's
you have
true.
to get the angle.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm not hearing the argument. Where I grew up, people conceal carry all the time. Like that's
Yeah.
just a thing.
In Florida,
But,
everyone, literally everyone.
I went to the mall once after a shooting in Indiana, and my my friend was like, "Don't tell your grandma we're going." And I was like, "Okay." So we go, and like half the stores are closed because they didn't know like what had happened on the other side of the mall. So they're like, "You know what? We're just closing early." And then a bunch of people were freaking out, calling their friends, and I'm like, "Damn, that's crazy." Dude just had his gun in his waistband at the wrong angle and shot himself in the leg. In the thigh, and he was profusely bleeding.
Wasn't there a football
So-
player that shot himself in the balls? I
I
feel like I remember seeing that.
Damn.
Like
But it was interesting.
Kind of like what
From
Batman
8 Mile?
does. Yeah.
like one guy from 8 Mile.
Yeah.
Have you seen when COVID first started and everyone was like doing interviews on the street and they talked to that one guy and he's like, "I know it sounds bad, but I like booking my vacation when wherever the last
Oh, yeah.
terrorist attack was."
Oh yeah.
I was like, you know what? That guy's got it going on. He
That guy's
knows what
smart,
to do.
dude.
I mean, he's right. They're not going to hit it twice.
Yeah.
Not in a
Strike
row.
Lightning, like lightning. You know.
hmm
never strikes. The
Unless
same
it's
way.
Israel, then I'd.
Damn.
Yeah, maybe not the Middle East, anywhere in there. Or the Balkans.
The Balkan.
Maybe not the Balkans.
You know
Maybe
what's
not
really
Balkans.
chill?
Hmm.
Not okay.
Poland.
Roatan, Belize. Not the island itself. There's a separate island that if you commit crime on, they send you back to the mainland. No, Honduras, Belize, Honduras. The mainland Honduras is fucking terrible. People die. A lot of people died there.
Nicaragua.
And there's people walking around with machetes just killing people. But like on fucking Roatan, no crime. They're like the guy's like, oh yeah, there's like 3% crime. It's like, what? He's like, yeah, anyone that's a criminal, they just get banned from the island. Like shit.
Damn. Do you know how much time that would take to do that here?
Well,
not that long.
We just send them to El Salvador. We already got planes lined up on a runway ready for them.
You know what my favorite thing is right now? I follow the FBI on Instagram for the sole purpose of when they catch someone on the most wanted, they be posting that shit.
That's true. They
be posting that shit. They be doing their money spread with them.
We got him
with his own money.
yeah.
They got his guns holding it up. Gold AK.
It's like got the perfect lighting and everything, and they're walking down the tarmac,
buying shit with his own money.
They're like playing dice. Playing dice, right?
Well, I mean, yeah,
in his house.
I mean, part of being the FBI is the photo shoot.
Yeah,
they're seizing the assets. It's like, okay, I mean,
like they've got someone on their team that's like, all right, get the angle, and like they edit it so it's all like dramatic and everything, and I'm like, yes.
Yeah,
this is my tax.
This is how you get federal funding. Like,
honestly, I'm 100% down for that. Dude.
Yeah. Honestly, I think all ICE get on it.
It's just
start taking better pictures.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, but wait, I just feel like that's going to cost tax money.
We're already paying them tax dollars. We're just teaching one of them to take better pictures.
In their budget.
I get it. If it fits in their budget, it's fair. But if it goes outside, no.
Well, they're not gonna like.
You think they're gonna spend more budget on trying to take one picture?
Well, you gotta buy the equipment.
No, nah. Government phones.
Smartphones.
Oh. Yeah, government.
I thought you want like. I thought you want like one of those cameras. Hey.
You just get like an iPhone or something.
I get. Oh, you see the new iPhone? You know how much that fucking phone is?
What?
Yeah.
$2,000.
I knew it was $2,000.
No, isn't it? The 17 is $2,000, and then like the Pro version is $2,500.
Like, because all their shit is Chinese, dude.
Dude, my dad, he looks at my mom and he goes, "We're upgrading our phones because of the tariffs. I'm not paying more." I was like, you know what? Go off, King.
That's true. He's right.
He was right. He's like, I'm not paying more. We're getting new phones right now because I'm not doing this shit.
You have, I think someone did the math. There's like probably 4 weeks of goods inside the U.S. that's not been tariffed yet, or because it's already here.
I've actually seen a lot of tariff sales.
Yeah, a lot of I've seen that too.
Yeah,
I know fucking MeUndies did it. Ford did it.
A lot of military gear websites.
Ridge Wallet did it.
Mm-hmm.
Spiritus, I think, is
love Ridge Wallet. Ridge Wallet's
like the thing. Okay, like I don't really care about tariff. Really,
I mean,
it seems
gonna be like inflation. It's just gonna go up, and we can't really do much about it right now.
I mean, it seems like a pissing match, kind of
between
it's just every nation
and everywhere.
I'm all for 17% tax on Israel.
I guess.
I think it's about time we tax Israel.
Yeah, sure.
17%.
17.
It's pretty good. We need more.
20.
More records.
20.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't we have like 125? Oh yeah, I have seen a lot of videos of China's doing bad right now. They're really, the tariffs hit them a lot worse.
Hold on. They were already doing bad.
Yeah, weren't they having that whole housing?
Their housing market was collapsing.
Yeah.
And like,
but their factories are collapsing.
They were on the
maybe they should have more children.
I think they were on the mend, right? And then tariffs.
Yeah. I saw a compilation
something.
of people like recording in the factories that just closed down, and they're like, it's worse than COVID.
I've worked here since I was 5.
Yeah. I live in a small town of 5 billion people. You seen that? No.
I live
Comedian.
in a small village.
I live in. It's like like speak Chinese, and then it's like the translation is, I live in small town, 7 billion people.
Have you
I
seen?
work in factory since 3 years old.
Stock market.
The Apple actually had like 5 planes of phones flown in.
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
And I was like,
That's
fucking
damn,
hilarious.
they're preparing for the apocalypse with these bitches.
I hate Apple.
I know you
Dude,
do.
Thank God it was Microsoft that figured out quantum computing.
Yeah,
Thank God, because that could have been Apple.
if it was Apple,
That could have been Apple.
we wouldn't have heard about it since
No, they'd be like, "Oh, we're gonna release it in pieces."
Yeah, you got to pay a subscription.
Oh, you see, we're gonna sell the chip.
The chip is 4 million.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's just stare at the camera.
But with Apple, fucking
Yeah, you'd have to get the chip for $4 million, and then the board for $7 million.
and then the computer, the board goes in. That's
Yeah.
gonna be a trillion.
Now, in order to mount them, each screw is 1 million.
That's right.
And then if you want to elevate it off the ground slightly, not adjustable, $7 million.
One height for everyone.
Yeah.
Yep.
One height per million.
And it's really awkward. It's like an awkward height.
Like no,
Where
you
if you
can.
put it on a desk,
only
if you
in
put it
half
on a
sizes.
desk, then it's too high. But if you take it off, it's like not high enough.
You know,
Yeah.
Apple sucks.
They be doing too
Apple
much.
has always sucked.
Yeah.
And it was so awesome that year. I think they got was it last year or 2023? They were just getting fucked
Yeah.
left, right, and center because the UK government was like, you have to be USB-C
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Dude, do you
and
know how much
then-
more convenient that is for me?
Yeah, that's pro consumer.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's just pro consumer. And then they're getting in trouble. You know how when an Android texts an iPhone, it's green.
Yeah.
it's
They're getting in
racism,
trouble.
dude.
They're getting in trouble for that
It's racism.
because
It is racism,
they
I'm
say
sorry.
it's using social pressure to pressure people into buying iPhones.
And there's some people right here that were racist to me because I had an Android, and they had an Apple.
I kind of like the green better
Javier.
personally.
The green is more fun for the eye.
One of my favorite colors is green. So like I personally, as I'm wearing,
Yeah, that's right.
I
Sarah
personally
about the
think-
paper. She likes that green.
I work minimum wage. Anyway, the green bubble is just so much more satisfying. Like I know that they tried to make it more like of annoying green. I like it more. If they toned it down a little bit, it would be very pleasing. But like the blue, I just don't think it like looks that good. Like I get it, but like I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
It's just been like
I-
poor shaming for
Yeah.
being smart with your money and buying something, not dropping a fucking $1,000 on a phone.
They like to say it's poor shaming,
It's
but
really.
it's just like outing yourself as being a retard. Really. You know?
I mean, yeah, it is.
It
'cause
just
you're,
shows sign
you're
of early
dropping,
racism.
Yeah.
You're dropping bands
Yeah.
on fucking
It's like
phone.
It's like people that get grills, you know?
Honestly,
diamond-encrusted
grills to me
Let's
is
get
less
Gred
stupid
grills.
than iPhone.
Like, what is the purpose of that, dude? What are you gonna do with that?
The
Swag?
film,
like
swag.
Kanye's
Swag.
like Kanye's thing that he's got, the metal fucking
Yeah.
thing around his
Okay.
teeth, dude.
That looks. Kanye. Are we
He's like
really
a
gonna?
fucking robot? Or what was
He's
it?
been
Who was it?
replaced.
Lil Uzi? They got the diamond in
Yeah.
his forehead,
that was
and
okay.
someone snatched it at a concert.
yeah.
Yeah.
That I don't get.
I
That's
think he
the
got
exact
that-
same thing that Apple people were doing.
I think he got that diamond back. I'm pretty sure,
Yeah, he did. I think.
Yeah.
but he didn't put it back in his fucking head.
No, he
Tell you what,
Mm-mm. No, but I tried to switch to an Android, and my dad looked into it, and it was going to cost extra to switch all of my data from an Apple to an Android.
that's all they get you.
How?
I don't remember.
In what way?
It's been a while.
Because you could just use a computer.
I don't remember.
Did he just say that because he didn't want somebody with an Android in his house?
No, he
racist?
didn't mind it. He just didn't like the one that I wanted. He was like, "I'm okay with you doing it, but like, I don't want you to get that one." It was the
Get,
flip, the flip one.
Oh, the Z Fold.
Yeah.
Oh, the Z Fold.
Those are
so
cool, but
sick.
they're little.
And also they have issues
Yeah.
like the
The
screen
crease.
the screen creases.
Yeah, I like that, but I like it.
But every time I see that shit, I'm like, that's the future.
It's
You-
the future.
You
I
look
saw
at that shit, I'm
someone.
like, that's the future.
I was telling this girl
is what
about
they were
makeup
talking about
products,
back
and
to
she's
teachers.
like, "Oh, hang on, can I write that down?" I'm like, "Yeah, no problem." And she pulled it out, and she goes, "Flip," and I was like, "You know what? I was like, that's so crispy.
Damn it!
And she had like the little charms, and like it was so aesthetically pleasing to look at. And I was like, damn.
Dude, yeah,
And then I look at my crusty iPhone.
Yeah, and you're like, I feel like I'm sitting here wearing rags.
Screen's oily.
Screen's oily,
Yeah.
cracked.
Yeah.
Dude, I bought a screen protector for it, and it's all the glue is coming away, and I'm just like,
You're
this
wearing
is
like
stupid.
You have like a dollar bill in the case.
Oh hell no, I'm not.
I don't.
I'm not trashy.
I don't get why people put their money in their phone case.
I hate that.
I think it's so
Your
stupid.
ID?
Because now someone can
Stupid.
steal your phone. They get your
And
phone
they get a tip.
and your money.
All in one.
Dude,
It's a crazy find as a robber.
people have been carrying around their social security cards in their wallets. Do you know that?
That's kind of crazy.
I swear to God, more.
I don't think so. But I did.
I was
You
like,
were in
why
the
is
army.
it so crusty? Yeah, that makes sense.
I needed
But,
it
like,
all the time.
Someone was like, oh, I have. It was after Target Welcome, and like during Target Welcome, you need it because you need to input it or you need other documents. That makes sense. I understand why you're carrying it around. But if it's just day to day, oh yeah, I got my social security. Do you need it? Why do you have it? Why is it so dirty? Why is it torn?
Why don't you just remember it?
Yeah, you're an adult.
I remember it. It's not that hard.
What is
Say
it?
it.
No. It's coming.
What does it start with?
Brock,
Dude.
put it on screen now. I'll give you $50. Give you a tip.
But during COVID, when that was happening in Albertsons, they were giving their employees vaccines. So they had like a sign-up sheet, and they'd go through the sheet.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why they were giving their employees because they'd have like 5 people scheduled to get the shot, and there's like 10 vaccines in it. And once you pop open the container, you have like 6 hours to use them.
Yeah.
So they were giving them out, and I remember they gave it to me, and they're like, "Reed, what's your social?" And I was like, "Don't know," because this was like when I was just 18, so I didn't remember it by then. I didn't because I was just fresh and adult.
I don't know.
I don't know. And they almost didn't give me the shot.
They can pay you with rocks.
And then I was just like, so
Rocks.
I'll pay you with rocks. I
I
don't know.
don't know. I'm just a little guy.
But I was like, are you gonna really let the shot go to waste because I don't have my thing? And she's like, fine.
That's crazy.
Write your name down though. I was like, okay.
I got mine from the firemen at the college.
Oh, yeah, I got mine like way sooner than everyone else because
I got
I was
mine
an
early.
essential worker.
Oh, I got mine because I was.
I got threatened. I had to get mine because of the military.
Take it.
Yeah, they were
You will fucking take it.
There was like 2 people in my company. They're like, I don't know, man. I mean, it just came out. Like, vaccine,
Yeah.
like, isn't it a little. Like,
We'll
I'm just
see.
gonna wait.
Yeah.
The sergeant major of my battalion formed everyone in the entire battalion up that hadn't gotten the COVID shot or said that they weren't going to get it, and just like gave them a lecture about how they were just like ruining their readiness, their combat readiness, their combat effectiveness. They're gonna ruin this company. They're gonna ruin the battalion. They're gonna blah blah blah. And then he told them that they were probably going to get kicked out of the military if
Jesus
they didn't
Christ.
take it.
Anti-recruiting vibe.
Yeah, it's kind of extreme.
And then Fauci got pardoned. So
That's crazy.
You know the guy, the silk trade guy, he got pardoned.
Who?
The guy who.
Oh,
created,
yeah, that guy?
Yeah, he
Who
created the
pardoned him?
silk trade. Donald.
nice. Let's
Good old
fucking go,
Donnie.
dude. Let's fucking go.
That guy was a sex
Good.
trafficker. I know.
Huh?
Wasn't he like a sex trafficker?
No,
What did he do?
he just made a website on the deep web
Huh?
that let people buy and sell drugs
That's not great.
over the internet.
That's not great.
I mean, he's not putting the needle in their arm. He's just making it accessible. He's an entrepreneur.
That's like a fentanyl dealer saying, "Oh, I didn't make him take fentanyl." Hey, Schmeat.
That's not what the Silk Road was for, though.
Uh-huh.
That
Oh, was it,
It
like
was-
medicine drug? Or was
no,
it
no,
like-
they were selling drugs. The point of the website was not to sell drugs. It was to just be able to sell anything.
Yeah.
Oh, like
There
eBay.
was like no,
yeah, like eBay.
yeah, there's like no tax, I think, or anything.
Oh.
You just organize and ship things.
Yeah, I'm guessing the only reason he got grabbed is not
It's because
to-
he ran the site. Because he was the owner of the site. He started it.
All right, so iDubbbz released a content cop on H3A3, which is kind of a big deal because he made a big song and dance of being like, "I'm never doing content cop again. Those videos were harmful. he actually took down all the old ones.
Yeah.
And the only one that's left up is this new one.
He was like, I'm really not proud of any of those, specifically this one against Tana Mojo or whatever. And then she was like, no, yeah, I deserve that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a piece of shit. I deserved it.
I really needed to, I really
She was
needed to
real
deserve
for that.
I like when people take accountability like that.
But so Hassan Piker, Denims,
This guy.
Yeah.
Shonda Black, Frogan, and Matt Lib, and one Noah Sampson were in the video.
Mm-hmm.
And like he's just regurgitating what all the talking points about Ethan Klein. And it's all tired shit. Like, one big thing is like Ethan will respond to people no matter how big their size is, their platform is.
Yeah.
And some people will call that harassment. And what you call that is cry bully, because he's responding to somebody for talking shit. Usually, the people like some people will tweet about it, and he'll just do like an Instagram story, and that's how he'll respond.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes he'll talk about it on if they're bigger. Like Frogan is the smallest person he's talked about on his podcast.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So they call that harassment, and that's stupid. He's just responding to what someone said publicly about him.
Technically, they're harassing him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And that was part of it. And I don't know. I lost. Okay, I had the slightest amount of respect left for iDubbbz after everything, because I was like, you know what, bro, just hit rock bottom.
Like a battered housewife.
You know, bro, just hit rock bottom. Jesus Christ.
You just kept coming, didn't you?
Well, like he hit rock bottom pretty hard after.
He turned into like this little goblin dude.
Yeah.
Just like a little goblin.
Yeah, he did Creator Clash 2. It raised no money for charity.
Yeah, lost money, actually.
Lost money.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's doing Creator Clash 3. 2-3 months before Creator Clash 3, he's making a video criticizing Ethan Klein, which a decent amount of the people that paid for Creator Clash are fans of him.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not going to pay for it now. So you're not... And like, a big reason he didn't go after Sam Hyde, if you remember, he kept on saying, oh, the reason why I'm not going after Sam Hyde is because I'm scared of rooting Creator Clash. And this time, I guess he just did not care at all about it, and he was just fucking lying. But so 3 months before that, he's making this video that alienates half people because he's leaning heavily left. He's got Hassan Denims. So anyone that would pay for the Creator Clash, half. Divide that in half. So it's stupid. You're supposed to be making something with general mass appeal, and you're not. And another shitty thing is someone on the H3 crew is doing the fight. Is doing a fight in the card. And now they're placed in an awkward situation where either they have to fight on the card of the person that's criticizing their boss and friend, or drop out, and it's like charity loses money.
Did he mention this in his video?
No. And he was trying to, like, both sides. He's trying to be like, oh, I'm a nice guy. I'm so sorry you're caught in the middle of this. It's like, dude, you could have waited.
Just like
until after.
It's like when liberal men turn out to be sex offenders.
Kinda. Yeah. No, he was trying to be like, oh, I'm on
a wolf in sheep's clothing.
I'm on your side. Oh, I feel, but it just feels like he was using them, and it's.
I'm an ally.
I'm an ally. Yeah. It was really stupid. He should have just waited until after.
Yeah.
And so now you're telling, so he's alienating half of all people that could pay for it, who could buy the fucking pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So now, as a person that the last one, I bought the pay-per-view and I donated money. And I was fucking furious when I found out none of that money went to charity. So now, going into the third one, knowing that half of people have been alienated, there's no fucking way I'm going to give any money to this, because it's not going to make money.
Yeah.
It's just not.
Yeah.
It's just so stupid.
How much did you donate?
$100. Which is not. Thank you. Yeah.
Just change the world out here, guys.
Yeah. But
$100 at a time.
It's just $100. But it's that's frustrating, and it's like, dude, you're fucking stupid. Yeah. It's so dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for a while now, I really haven't liked H3, but I really liked iDubbbz until he went all goblin mode and just became a freaky little goblin.
Yeah.
Just simp weirdo that just like Everything I did that you guys liked, I don't like that. I'm gonna get rid of it, and I regret it. And you guys suck.
He apologized to Jinx Reloaded because people were being like, "That's racist." And I was like, "What?"
He's just a little goblin.
Yeah, and also another thing that I feel makes the apology feel more hollow because it's already like stupid. It's like I'm sorry for things that I'm still actively benefiting from.
Yeah,
pretty much.
There's also this thing where Idubbbz used to be seen as like a cool dude,
like untouchable.
Everyone used to think Idubbbz was just a really cool dude. You know, they didn't. You know, everyone would have wanted to hang out with Idubbbz. You know, and I think the whole Sam Hyde thing, among other things, before that, but the Sam Hyde thing, where he tried to interview him or whatever, and then Sam Hyde just like pranked him the entire time, and Idubbbz was not in on it ever up until after he posted the video, and then Sam Hyde posted his video of what actually happened, where he paid actors to pretend to be like just like his guys that were just like, he literally rented out a studio and said, "Yeah, this is where I make all my stuff."
Yeah, that was. Yeah, Ethan.
That made Idubbbz look like a fucking idiot, which had up until that point I don't think had been done.
Yeah, he was kind of on a high before that because before that he did the documentary on Airsoft Fatty.
Airsoft Fatty.
And then there's the one about Dax Flame.
Yeah.
And then the time before that it was the Reichscom content cop.
Yeah, and then that was the thing. Sam Hyde knew it wasn't going to be like one-on-one, like actual like interview, like a back and forth. He knew that Idubbbz was just going in there to make Sam Hyde look like awful. Yeah, was his whole thing, which is why he just decided to prank the shit out of him and lie to him the whole time.
So, Idubbbz dropped the content cop while Ethan Klein was live on his podcast, and that was intentional because clearly he's just what he's trying to do is get Ethan to react with an emotional response, and so they can on his podcast, so they can clip farm him. He tried to lie and be like, "Oh, it was a technical bullshit." That's a lie. Fuck, I had something to say. No, Ethan said that he thinks that the thing with Sam Hyde broke Idubbbz because he was like, yeah, before he went to do that, I was telling him, don't do this, and he did it anyway, and we saw how that fucking went out. And I'm just like, yeah, it just it fucked with him because he didn't know what was real.
Yeah,
and Ethan was like, yeah, it fucking broke Ian.
Yeah.
And also there's this clip inside the video in the content comp where it's like, where Idubbbz says, you know, there was a time when I thought, if I ever make it a content comp on Ethan Klein, I know I've lost the plot. And it's like, dude, dude, you lost the plot.
Very prophetic.
Yeah, or ironic, I guess.
That's prophetic.
Is it?
What is
prophesized? It's prophetic.
Or
it's not ironic.
No, because it would be if he just did it on a whim.
If he became the thing he was talking about, like if he
but he's saying the thing that he's talking about while becoming the thing, while doing the thing. He's being like, I've lost the plot.
He went long enough to become the villain.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, that's more.
And also, it's like, it's not funny. Objectively, you know how the old ones were funny?
Yeah.
No. Like, gone are the days. Remember the Keemstar one where he's in a fucking sewer just fighting a garden gnome?
Yeah, shooting the garden gnome in the desert.
That's gone. Dude, it was fucking funny. Yeah. We could I think that was filmed in San Diego, so we could find it. But
yeah.
Weekend trip.
Find where this was filmed.
I'll buy a shotgun. I had to buy a shotgun anyway. We'll go out there, shoot some slugs at some garden gnomes.
Yeah. But some funny shit happened.
And they're dressed as Idubbbz.
Some funny shit happened where Ethan called him a cunt. They have a dump button, so they press the dump button. So it's just, this guy's such a and it clicks, and it's da 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 da. We'll be back. And I don't know.
We should do our own content comp on iDubbbz, and it's me, and I have my head shaved, looking like the old iDubbbz.
You're
Like
doing
all
a
the
lot of the
fucking goblins.
poses.
Yeah.
But they do that the intro for it. I'll give them was pretty good. It's like they do that meme. Wake up, wake up, but it's like with Hassan, Denham's, Frogan. Like that's kind of funny. But that was it. That was the only part I liked.
Yeah, Hassan's in it. Jump scare.
But at first,
Mentioning Hassan.
At first, you don't realize it looks like a live stream, and then iDubbbz just walks in. I know. And also, like, Content Cop used to be about like criticizing those that aren't being criticized, right? And it's like you're going after H3H3, the most criticized person on the internet.
Yeah.
It's just this like, dude, we've lost the fucking plot.
Man.
Best.
How far he's fallen.
Sad. Yeah. He used to be cool. He used to have it all.
He really did. He really did used to have it all. Literally, the entire internet was on his side.
Also, everyone was kind of scared of him.
Yeah.
He was like,
for sure.
Every time he announced like a Content Cop was being made, everyone would be like, "This could be me."
What do you think it was? You think he's taking like hormones or something? Making more feminine?
No, I think his problem is he's just
pussy whipped.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw Papa Gut. He was talking about it, and he was like, the problem with their relationship is that she's doing all the saying, like do this, and he's not giving any feedback.
You think she's just got her hand up his ass?
Kind of. I think that's what's probably happening.
That makes sense.
I mean, because like
we need to do this. Yes, honey.
Because like iDubbbz was so out of his depth because all the other Content Cops, there is no political aspect to it. But with this one, it's like, dude,
that's a good point. Yeah,
this is deeply entrenched in politics.
They were all very, apolitical. They were offensive.
Yeah,
but they were all
apolitical. But this one, it's like no, because you can't. It's like stepping on landmines.
Is iDubbbz in favor of Hamas now?
I don't know.
Because
I get that impression.
If he sides with Hassan, then he sides with Hamas.
Also, like another thing, he's criticizing Ethan for shit that Hassan also does. And it's like, dude, so what are we doing here?
We should deport Hassan, like the turkey.
He's got citizenship though.
I don't care.
Okay.
I didn't ask. Should send him to El Salvador, dude.
No, we gotta send him somewhere.
Prison.
Terrible.
Yeah, the Secot. That's the worst prison in the world.
Is it?
Yeah, the one in El Salvador. That's
We're sending him
the worst.
to a prison?
Yeah, no, that one's pretty bad because it's overpacked.
That's literally the worst prison ever.
A lot of them.
You ever seen The Mechanic?
No,
too?
This one.
No.
With Jason Statham? In that one, he goes to that prison. It's like the worst prison in the world.
I think I saw this show called World's Toughest Prisons.
It was alright.
There's a show, World's Toughest Prisons.
Yeah.
I think it's all the... Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember it.
Oh yeah, another thing with Papa Gut, where he was talking about like this chatter in his chat was being like, oh, how do you know iDubbbz intentionally released the video while he was live? And Papa Gut was just like, when I'm eating my wife's ass out, and she farts, do you think that's unintentional?
Damn.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's pretty much the end of the. Sorry, it's disappointing.
It's crazy.
Does a Tin Man have a sheet metal cock?
That's a good question, actually.
Let's find out.
Does a bear shit in the woods?
Would it? Oh my god! Imagine how delicate that would be.
What?
A tin penis.
No, not tin. Sheet metal.
Sheet metal.
Yeah.
I mean, sheet metal. Still
That's
not bad.
A little thicker.
I mean, you could still bend it with your hands.
Yeah. But it wouldn't like.
It flexes.
Sheet metal's a little.
Yeah, it flexes
stronger.
one.
You need tin snips for that.
Makes the whoosh.
So so it'd have like a like a
yeah.
It'd be like
It wouldn't be like a tin can.
No,
it'd be thicker, right? How thick is it? How thick is his cock?
It's crazy how thinking with the Wizard of Oz, how many of those people,
Measurements.
they just did shit to that would just end up killing them or giving them some
Didn't
terrible
Didn't
ailment.
one have like lead? Wasn't the Wicked Witch?
The Tin Man had lead,
Oh, the Tin Man had lead. Yeah.
and the Wicked Witch had some other
Lead
danger.
paint or something on her.
Yeah, had
The
some danger.
asbestos.
And then
something like
the
that.
sparkles was asbestos.
Of course, it's always.
And there's a
asbestos.
rumor that one of the little people on set hung themselves.
That's not a rumor.
A rumor? Urban legend? What is that? What do you call that?
Thing. It's true.
It's true?
There's
It's
part
fact.
of it that you can see the shadow of him swinging.
I know, I saw that, yeah. But that it could be
Easter egg.
something else. Ooh.
Easter egg.
Easter egg.
It was Easter.
I think they edited that part out.
Probably
If you look
now.
closely-
Yeah.
If you look closely, you can see a little man hung himself right here.
I remember watching a Shane Dawson video
Mhm.
about that. And craziest thing, during the video, he fucked his cat. And I was like, what?
Whoa! And you kept watching?
Honestly,
Yeah.
I was kind of like, damn, this is on
what's-
YouTube?
What's that one guy that he like said he fucked his cat? That one.
Shane Dawson.
Yeah, it was Shane Dawson, yeah.
That's why I said that
Yeah.
joke.
Oh, it might not be true, actually.
No,
Yeah, it was Shane Dawson. I forgot that was him. That was someone else.
yeah, I could see how that, but no, it was Shane Dawson. Shane, he's not as respectable.
Yeah,
So,
I haven't heard his name in years.
allegedly, it's a
retired.
white crane hanging from a tree.
Allegedly.
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 That's what I would say.
Yeah, I would say so.
I'd be like, no, yeah, it's a crane.
That's a prop.
It's a prop.
That's not an actual body.
It has been widely debunked by film historians and experts.
I don't believe.
Were they
him.
there?
Yeah.
I don't believe him.
Or did
I don't care.
Did Warner Brothers pay them to say that?
For real.
Actually, you don't have money to pay people, so.
At the time.
Well,
Now they do.
No, they don't.
Right now.
I would say they probably could have paid it off, hit it better.
I
then.
guess I can see that that's a crane, maybe, if I squint.
I mean, it doesn't look great.
I don't believe anything they say.
Anyways. What
Damn.
time is it, Reed?
I don't know. Is it time for Saharas Spooky?
Sahara spooky time.
Done, whatever. I remember the intro had a bunch of fucked up.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Do we want to do guesses again, or do we want to just get
Well,
into it?
Give us a hint.
Yeah.
All right. It has to do with music. The 1960s and potential murder.
Music.
Elvis Presley
19s.
becomes a DEA agent.
What? Off the rip?
That'd be like.
That's the first thing you guess?
Well,
be
you
like-
said 1960s murder. I'm like, that's
That'd be
Well-
like Joker in the Bat.
Well,
family,
maybe not
then.
murder. A death.
a death.
Let's just go with a death.
A death. I kind of.
Because it could have been murder.
Is it a beetle? Oh. What's his
Oh,
name? What's
What's
Paul
his name?
McCarthy is not actually Paul McCarthy or something. What?
No,
McCarthy.
McCartney or whatever.
Thank
yeah,
you.
McCarthy.
McCarthy. McCartney.
I was rooting for you, Reed.
Is John Lennon?
Oh, I
No,
mispronounced.
he got it
something.
right.
Oh.
Yeah, you guys got it right.
Yeah, being a butthead.
Work
I
together.
just mispronounced something.
Okay. So everyone knows the Beatles. They weren't just a band; they were a phenomenon. And what
Say
if
that again 3
the
times.
what?
Say it again.
No.
Yeah. Say it again. Sorry. What?
Anyways, so but what if the version of the Beatles we revere wasn't really real? Let's rewind to 1966. The Beatles are at the height of their fame, but Paul McCartney, the charming boyish bassist, is growing tired and distant. Rumors swirl of arguments within the band, and then something strange happens. November 9th, 1966, a stormy night in London. According to the official story, Paul drove off in a rage after a fight with after a late recording session, and he never made it back. Some say he died in a car accident. The band, fearing mass hysteria at the end of their empire, made a fateful decision to replace him. But with who? William Campbell, a Canadian musician and Paul lookalike who won a McCartney lookalike contest the year earlier. But here's the twist nobody talks about. What if it wasn't just about hiding a death? What if it was about hiding something bigger? Documents uncovered by a retired agent in 1999 suggest something darker.
Wait.
That
Agent of what?
M15.
Shield, the FBI, CIA, Interpol. What?
Hang on.
Could be anything.
This is kind of important.
Could be anything.
Because if it's CIA, I'm
The
gonna guess
idea.
it's probably bullshit.
It's probably the idea.
The official security service
You
of the
mean the
United
Mossad?
Kingdom Domestic Counterintelligence.
Oh. Okay. Keep.
That Paul had uncovered a connection between major British politicians and secret intelligence programming using pop music as psychological warfare. His growing paranoia and his desire to walk away from the band, it wasn't just about the burnout. It was about truth. And then he disappears. The replacement wasn't just a lookalike, he was a plant, a fully trained operative embedded to steer the Beatles' messaging in a different direction. Suddenly, the band's music changes. Gone are the innocent love songs and cryptic lyrics, backwards messages, and LSD-inspired chaos. Was Sgt. Pepper just an alter ego? Or was it a reset, a new identity for the band that no longer had Paul, but something or someone else? The clues, they were never hiding. They were leaking. Album covers showing Paul barefoot, out of step, lyrics like he just blew his mind out in a car. Even Lennon muttering cranberry sauce, or is it I buried Paul? In 1970, the band breaks up. McCartney retreats from the spotlight. But what if it was never a retreat? It was containment. Today, McCartney tours the world with a voice slightly too high, eyes just a bit different, a man who looks almost like the legend we once knew. So, is Paul dead?
No.
Maybe.
I believe it immediately. You should just do that every single time.
I
believe it.
I believe
it. Immediately?
Well, like it feels kind of far fetched because you have to imagine they have to keep that going
Yeah. They have to keep it
for
up.
like over 80 years, and it's still ongoing.
Hey, he's still alive.
If this
Yeah, he
theory, if this theory is
Let's
true,
go find out.
there's still someone actively pretending to be Paul McCartney.
I think that last part at the end.
That's the I'm reading it face.
The last part at the end where he's like, he looks slightly different and his voice is a little high.
It's called aging.
All right.
I mean, yeah, aging, but
It's
like,
called aging.
All right. He's old.
yeah.
He's old, right?
Yeah.
The rest of it, I don't know. Maybe.
Honestly, I was hoping when I said the Paul, when you said Beatle, I was hoping it would be the conspiracy theory that Yoko had John killed,
Or someone had John killed.
Oh, that's cheap shot,
well,
though, but yeah.
I mean, Yoko deserves the cheap shot though.
Yeah.
I'm not on Yoko's side.
Yeah.
You mentioned it was a cheap shot.
It is.
I'm on her side.
See,
That's like the easiest
she's
Beatles one to go
overhated.
to.
She's actually.
yeah, but I saw something where it was like, apparently, like 2 days before he was got deathed, if you will. He was planning on he called his ex, and apparently they talked, and she was like, "Yeah, he was gonna come to me." And then 2 days later, yeah, he was gonna come to me. Be mine.
I'm reading it.
Then he fucking died.
Yeah.
And it was like, that's suspicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Lennoning it.
You mean getting shot in the street?
Yeah, with a 38 special.
Or
Yeah, he's a
singing
spy.
about how great having no possessions would be while being a millionaire.
while living in a mansion.
While living in a
pool.
mansion with millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Imagine how great that guy is. I don't have to deal with anything. You have to.
But that's so classic British, isn't it?
No.
Like
Classic
What,
British.
wanting
is
to
like
have no possessions, but
No.
having
Yeah.
possessions.
Yeah.
classic British is having the spice trade, not using any of the spice, colonizing other countries, and being depressed all the time.
Yeah, but look at it's like fuck, the Christopher Nolan movie it just came out a couple of years ago.
Tenet?
Maybe. No, one after that. Christopher Nolan.
Oppenheimer? I don't.
Yeah, Oppenheimer.
Oh.
He's like
Okay.
a communist, but he's rich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his family's or his wife is rich, and
So they're obviously
the guy
communists.
or the chick that he cheats on his wife with Has plenty of communists, plenty of money.
Yeah.
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 And that,
They share in the wealth.
Yeah.
Those that are privileged will always think communism is
It's
better.
just like Hassan, dude. Hassan's British.
Is he communist too?
That's mean to say to British people.
What,
True.
that they're British?
No, just saying that. Just say Hassan's British.
No, he's Turkish.
He's Turkish.
Yeah.
Same shit. All those
No,
Europeans.
Hassan has
Those
never known struggle in his life.
There's bad Europeans. There's good Europeans.
Yeah.
But they're all
That's
peeing.
Why?
No.
Why are they peeing everywhere?
Yeah. It's gross.
They
Gross!
They can't handle it.
I think I don't know. Maybe Paul McCartney's dead. Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I feel like the beginning of it. So I don't know necessarily if he was a government plant. Okay, that part gets a little
really
out
lost
there.
me there.
Yeah. But, however, it's interesting. It's interesting thought that he's a secret operative. But this Canadian, they're using Canadians.
Oh, hey there. I'm Paul McCartney. Oh, hey.
Well,
Not even
there's
like
a lot of-
slip, it's not the same
Hey,
accent.
Jude.
No.
Don't make it bad. That's not even Canadian.
Not
It's
even
like,
Canadian.
It's like Borat.
Well, yeah, that's what Canadian trying to do a British sounds like.
I don't.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Anytime you
They
try
have
to
a lot
do
of French
all-
French British influence up there, though.
each time you try to do
Their own-
having an accent and while
Mm-hmm.
trying to do no accent, it's kind of conflicting. Depending on what accent it is. Because if you're going from Australian to American, that's easy.
But weirdly, everyone can do an American accent.
Oh yeah,
Every
because
single.
it's the easiest one.
Because
Our language is accessible for all peoples.
You get Hugh Jackman, Cillian Murphy.
You like that one?
it?
I guess.
Is it? Because I've heard some people say so.
Honestly, English is the hardest language to learn.
It's got a lot of rules that don't make sense. It's the
3
thing.
there's. How Wednesday is spelled.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
My least favorite word to say. I actually get embarrassed when I go to say it and I try to say something else. February.
Oh.
Because I remember it as February in its spelling. But then when I say it, it sounds wrong. When I say it normal, I sound wrong. Because when I try to write it out,
You sound it
I
out when you
think
write it.
February.
Yeah.
But then when I go to say it, I'm
You
like,
second guess.
what the fuck? How do I?
Yeah.
And I don't want.
Or like how
Yeah.
people say library.
Yeah.
Yes,
This
I
is
said it
Ryberry.
Go to the library right now.
Into the reading arena. I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds cooler. That's American right
That's
there.
called branding.
The reading octagon.
But it's for sure not the hardest language. Because French counting above
No.
like 12.
Any language that's tonal, that's harder.
That's true.
Speak Arabic right now.
No.
I want next episode I need you to do Tibetan throat singing.
But there's never been a French mathematician. You know why?
Really?
Because of the way they count. They don't above like 12. They go like 10 and 3,
Just had to get that in there, huh?
10 and 4, 10 and 5s,
That's what your mom
10 and
said.
6s,
Sorry.
10 and 7s, 10 and 8s, 10 and 9s, and they go like that. That's how they count.
That's insane.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's weird.
No wonder they had the fucking syringe.
And then it goes to like 100 and 10's 3, 110's 4. I shit you not. That's literally how they count.
Yeah.
110's 5.
There's
I
Why?
shit you not.
Why do
It's
they
a real
do this
thing.
to themselves?
And then, have you seen Russian cursive?
yes. It's
Yeah.
just lines.
Yeah. Russian cursive.
Cursive
It's
in
literally-
general. Hold on.
It's literally
What?
a continuous squiggly line. And
Cursive.
they somehow know that.
Cursive in general. Bullshit.
But it looks kind of cool, though. It looks kind of cool.
Yeah, I'd love to be able to read
It
it.
makes you look fucking... Did you not learn how to read cursive? In
No.
elementary school?
Russian cursive.
Oh, Russian cursive.
They tried to make me learn cursive, and then I basically learned how to sign my name in cursive, and that's it. That's all you need.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
So there's another theory about the Beatles that is like similar to this one, like going back to like how he like before the government operative stuff. So it starts with Ringo. So the theory claims that he was injured in a backstage accident, a scaffolding collapse at a Tokyo show. By the next public appearance, fans noted that his nose looked wrong, his laughter was forced, and he barely spoke in the interviews. That could be a hand injury though. TBI. And then George supposedly went missing in India for 10 days longer than official reports. When he returned, insiders say he was quieter, more spiritual, but also just different. He was a lot less humorous and more distant.
Yeah, being lost will do that to a motherfucker.
And then Lenin, he began spouting radical political ideas almost overnight. Was that
Same,
enlightenment
though,
or
honestly.
just a new man? Yeah.
Yeah, no, okay. So
But-
much of this is explainable. One, there was an accident. Maybe there was, maybe there wasn't. We don't know for sure. George was lost in fucking India for sounds like at least 10 days.
Well, I mean, with the spiritual, he was in an accident. A lot
No,
of people.
George got lost.
Well,
No,
no,
I'm
but
talking
Ringo.
about- yeah, Ringo.
Ringo was
in
in an
an
actual injury. Like he fell off
Yeah.
scaffolding
Like that's
in Tokyo.
reported.
That
Everyone knows about
he
it.
was suddenly more spiritual, right?
no, he Ringo had an accident and then he came back. His nose looked wrong. His laughter was forced, and he didn't speak anymore.
Hmm.
That could be just a traumatic brain injury,
Yeah.
or someone who couldn't
Good,
do his
like,
voice right.
Some shit.
Yeah, it looked like a pug.
Yeah.
But then they talk about like subtle shifts like ear shapes, eye spacing, hand dominance, like left or right.
Okay, the problem with ear shape, your ears always
Oh
grow.
yeah, they continue growing.
So
But
that's flawed.
the pre-1966 lyrics
I believe it.
are like the songs like "Help," and then the song, and
I
then the
need
lyric "I'm
somebody."
looking through you," "Nowhere Man," "I am the walrus."
That's just fun.
So each one, according to theorists, is a coded cry from the real Beatles or the replacements struggling with the truth. And then even Sgt. Pepper's title, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, supposedly named after their handlers, the ones who managed the doubles, were Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. They sing, "We hope you will enjoy the show. Is that a warning?" Some people think. I don't know. People are weird.
See, another big issue with this, because this implies government control. The British government's controlling.
Well, no.
Okay, who's controlling them?
No, the record label.
Okay.
Because handlers can refer to like who's handling like operatives,
Uh-huh.
but it can also be like the doubles, like who's making sure that they're not doing stuff that's abnormal.
For me, my fiance is my handler.
Yeah, you know what? That's iconic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say that's
You're Reed's handler.
No, I don't have one.
That's the problem. That's
You
the problem.
need someone to handle it.
Anyways, in 1969,
That's a
a
good one.
bootleg recording surfaced, now long lost, but someone sounding like George allegedly mutters, "We're all doubles now. They don't even remember the original anymore."
Okay, see, that could just be him being like, "We've lost our way, man. We don't know who we are."
Yeah.
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 Fair.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean-
Also, another issue with this theory: when John Lennon got shot to death, why didn't they just swap him in?
Well, maybe they already did.
Yeah, but why didn't they just get another one? Fuck it. I think we can just keep.
Well,
'Cause he got
how many
shot in
people
public?
witnessed him getting shot?
Yeah, he was like leaving a building.
What are they
Okay.
gonna do? Men in
Okay.
Black?
Yeah.
No, you get NDAs and a lot of money, and you make it go away.
We're talking about the Brits.
No, that wouldn't.
Well, it was New York in the 70s, right? That's where he got shot to death.
Dude, we have plenty of records in the 70s of stuff happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, so much. We know so much about the 70s.
But it's easier.
do.
It's easier to get away with something like that in the 70s than now, because everyone
mean,
has a phone.
sure. More
Yes.
than now. That doesn't mean
Yes,
that's
but that doesn't
plausible
mean
to get away with something.
No, you could have like when he got shot, you could just switch. You take him in like somewhere else.
Mhm.
Go to the hospital. Switch him in the hospital. That one dies. You have the replacement in the hospital. You shoot that one.
You shoot both of them, but one survives.
No, you just bandage the replacement up, and then you could do it. Conceivably, you can do it because you have to get him to a hospital, and you're good. You
Maybe
make
maybe they
you make
wanted
the
him to
swap in the
die.
hospital, maybe.
You know, I believe it.
Or like when George Harrison died of cancer. Why didn't
Stop
they?
selling it?
Why didn't they swap?
Stop selling. I believe it.
No,
I believe it already.
Why wouldn't they? They could just keep swapping people in.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess.
No, you got me. No, you got me. I believe it.
I mean, the only really argument...
maybe Reed's onto something. Allegedly, only one person, the taxi driver, saw him get murdered in real time. Everyone else was just there after he died.
You could so kill that guy.
The guy that
you can kill that guy too.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, you could just be like, "No, I didn't. No, he didn't," and you can just gaslight the fuck out of him. You just be like, "No."
They hadn't invented gaslighting back then. That wasn't a thing yet.
No, they just hadn't named it.
No, they just would have put him in the crazy house.
Yeah, Looney Bin. That's probably.
Yeah.
They just be like, "No, that didn't happen.
He was crazy.
He's crazy.
He's crazy. He thought he killed John Lennon.
All right.
Send him to jail." Oh,
you know what?
Oh,
yeah.
crazy?
Okay, I'll give you this one. Maybe yeah.
They could, like, in the ambulance ride to the hospital, because no one in the 70s knows how to fucking check a heartbeat. I don't believe that. I feel like less people knew how to check a heartbeat than now.
Maybe less people, but I'd hope the EMTs would.
Yeah, but they're on.
He's a medically trained professional.
No, I meant
you
like
don't know how to do shit.
In my head, what I'm talking about.
Just stuff him in the taxi.
What I'm talking about.
I'm driving.
Yeah.
I'm saying you switch him on the ride to the hospital.
They got a double in the trunk of the taxi.
He
doesn't ride anywhere without the double.
No, you just have another ambulance intercept that ambulance, or another car.
So what you're saying is that if this is true, they just had multiple John Lennons just ready at their disposal.
What you're describing to me is that each one got replaced at some point. That's what you've described.
Yeah, but you're saying that he got shot and it was like random, and they were like, oh shit. Good thing we got John number 6 in the back.
So what we're arguing here is that it would be more probable for them to have, if this was a thing, for them to have just switched John Lennon out for someone else, than just leave him dead. If they were switching people around when they died,
but
that's your argument, right?
Yeah,
that's
why didn't they switch him out?
So here's the thing.
There's so many times like. At the hospital,
but
the public's not going to see him for like a week.
If we go through the list, they all supposedly, allegedly, died. In places where there weren't any people.
Yeah, because Ringo, he got hurt, and then they took him to the hospital, and then however long between that and the next press, they had enough time to switch him out. It doesn't say how long between the actual accident and the next time he was seen by the press. It could have been a week. It could have been 2 weeks.
You don't know when the accident happened?
I don't have that information right here. So I could look it up. And if it's longer than like a day, then it makes more sense what we're saying. Like if they've only been replaced once, they're not going to have multiples on standby. But if they were at the height of their career, they care more. Like when they went missing in the wilderness and they came back and they were different.
Yeah.
Maybe he did something that they didn't like and they killed him, and then they were like, you know what? Guess what? We already have one. We have one ready. We're just going to keep going because they were at the height of their career. But if things were going poorly and then he went off with Yoko and they were like, shit, he dead? Nobody cares now because he left the band.
I mean, I guess, but also they could have just swapped him in because he was still making money as a solo artist.
Yeah, but he wasn't with the group, so like it didn't really matter as much.
But he's still with that label, making a lot of money.
I guess.
So they would still be incentivized to do something.
But they were more incentivized to do it if they were
also,
at the height of their career making it.
Also, if you let him die, there goes reunion tour. There goes reunion album. That even then they would know.
Did he die first?
They broke up before he died.
Yeah, but was he the first to die?
Yeah, he was the first one to die.
Like Arrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he was the first one to die.
In a game.
Yeah, in the video game.
In the theory. Anyway.
So even then they would know that makes a shitload of money.
Yeah.
So they would be like, all right, we need to figure this out. And in between the time you take him to the hospital and the next time he goes to the public, you switch him then.
Would you concede that would have been the riskiest switch?
It would be hella risky.
Then
you would have to pay so many people. You have to pay way more people.
Then is it not reasonable for them to have been like, yeah, we just can't take that risk. We'll just leave him dead.
No, because the amount of money that's on the table for this is so much. It's like,
but if they get caught switching him, that ruins the whole thing.
No, you just make it so you do that thing.
They're all dead. at this point.
Well, you do that thing where it's like, oh, if you get caught, we're gonna lie, and say, wait, what? That didn't happen. You just do that.
It's the 70s.
No, I think
don't-
if everyone found out that they switched Paul McCartney and all of the rest of them for doubles, and they were all
Paul George
actually
and
dead,
Ringo.
I feel like that might be kind of detrimental to sales.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And like if
So,
Well, actually, I don't
And
know.
more.
I don't know. People
than
would buy
going
the
back.
album to try to figure out at what point they were switched.
But that wouldn't equal to the amount of people
Oh yeah.
that would stop.
Yeah.
You
Because
know?
like if you look at them when they first came out, like look how many women were like so crazed over them.
Yeah.
The crowds.
Even like the whole
I could not imagine dealing with
I
that.
want to hold your hand,
Mhm.
even then,
Yeah, that was crazy. Imagine how upset those women would be and how much rage would be
Yeah.
flooding the streets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would have burned banks.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what needs to happen.
They would've-
You know what? You know what? Let's
They would have stormed the Capitol.
Maybe.
a bunch of women marching Washington.
Yeah.
I don't know. It
I feel like
feels
that would
flat.
happen if they were government spies.
I feel like
100%.
they would. They would have tried to do it. I feel like they would have. At that point, they'd have been like, "Fuck it, we can do it. We did it.
But-
We've done it 4 times. We can do it a 5th time."
Yeah, here's our
True.
new here's our new
But you know
Florida
what?
John Lennon. The old one was getting old.
They're just
We got a
young
new one out.
forever.
Fresh from the factory.
Fresh from the factory.
Fresh from the factory,
Yeah.
and he looks like the first appearance.
Yeah.
He's like
Hey guys, I'm John.
he's like not all there.
I'm John. I wanna hold.
He knows,
Hey,
like,
dude.
he knows like 5 words.
And they're
He
all
knows-
like mixed. He knows 5 phrases, and it's all
From
beat
each song.
each
Yeah.
song.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't play guitar.
I feel like
Very
at
easy.
that point they'd be overconfident, and they would have been like, "All right, we can lock
We can
the
just
fuck
keep
in.
going.
We can do it."
But see, okay, now if it was like the 1920s and you're proposing that they just swapped them out all the time and like people, I could see people believing it.
Yeah, that's more.
Like if it was
1920s?
earlier,
yeah,
if it was
that's
earlier, like
when
50s even.
that behavior was pretty
Yeah.
at a peak. Like
Mhm.
I could see it.
Mhm.
Yeah, but they just keep it going, forever.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, at that point they'd just be like, "Well, fuck,
Like,
we've done it 4 times. We can do it.
we can do it 6.
Be like the
We can keep going. Doesn't matter."
Yeah,
like the groundhog. They just keep switching.
Yeah.
Another one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They would just be overconfident, be like, "We could just
Yeah.
do this over, over, and
you
over."
guys are gonna movie idea.
Yeah, I was thinking about
You
that.
know what?
I mean, like, it'd be a pretty good movie if it was just this theory, but it's the movie.
Have you seen?
But not that, like anyone else. Let's do it.
Fuck. What's it
No,
called?
we
It's
could get them on board.
with
Paul, come on.
You know us. Come on.
what's his
Paul
name?
E.
Ethan Hawke. It's with
Uh-huh.
Ethan Hawke. It's called preposition or something. Not preposition. It's like something like that. But
Mhm.
it's about this guy who is part of this time traveling agency that goes back in time and tries to stop like terrorist attacks and stuff like that and bombings, and they this one agent is tasked with finding this one terrorist that blows up, that he like is responsible for like 17 different attacks or something,
Mhm.
like throughout
Mhm.
history or something. And so he goes back, and slowly over time he turns into the bomber from like time traveling. He like time travels, and then the whole story is kind of like Tenet.
How do we get here?
I'm saying it's like,
We're talking about it.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
but it's like he slowly becomes the bomber, and then he realized that he's been chasing himself.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds like Looper.
Kinda. Yeah.
Also,
Kinda.
The Flash.
Yeah. I also saw Memento the other day.
Yeah.
So Memento is pretty much something.
No, that is The Flash.
Okay.
If you remember that terrible movie.
I know
Oh,
what
the movie, yeah.
Yeah, where like the main bad guy is just a clone of him or whatever.
Yeah.
That aged through time. So fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Not a clone,
Interesting.
from another.
Another
Alternative.
timeline or
Yeah.
a variant.
Yeah.
Wait, that's the Marvel term. This one is an alternate. yourself,
can't
Marvel.
with that.
For real, Kevin Feige.
They
or
be
whoever.
doing it too much.
Yeah, I'm getting tired of this multiverse shit. I want
We've
it to stop.
overdone multiverse
I
shit.
want it to stop. It takes away all consequences.
When did it start?
Into the Spider-Verse.
37 movies ago.
Into the Spider-Verse is where it started, I think.
Really?
I think at
That was
that
before
point,
that.
I think at that point, people like there have been other projects that have had multiverse, but I think Spider-Verse was like the pop off.
Like when people like actually started being like, oh shit.
Okay, but what was the first one that did the
first
in Marvel? Was
in
it,
Marvel?
Yeah, was it Loki? No,
No,
there was more before that.
Spider-Verse was before Loki.
Really?
Yeah.
What about?
Let me look up when Spider-Verse was to be sure.
Spider-Verse feels like pretty recent.
You're thinking of Across the Spider-Verse?
Oh yeah.
No, but the other one I feel like is like 2016.
Into the Spider-Verse
Yeah.
is 2018.
Yeah,
Oh, I was close.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So that's like the first big one for Marvel,
Almost
and then
10
for
years.
DC, they've always kind of had
Since literally the beginning.
They've always had multiverse, but I feel like the first big event of multiverse was in the CW TV shows.
But BVS had the Flash show up in that one part where he's like dreaming. You remember the like apocalypse scene with Batman, and he's like in the future, and he dreams like he's being. Superman comes and he's fucking.
Yeah, but the crossovers I'm talking about was before that.
In the Flash, you mean?
In the the CW Flash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I was talking about like. Well, I mean, if we want to go further, it was in the comics.
Like, yeah, I mean, yeah, but like
but I'm saying in like the main.
Big
DC,
pop off time
yeah,
when it with
in the main DC continuity.
Oh yeah, then I would say that's probably the first time.
BVS, they literally had the Flash show up and be like, "Whoa, you didn't, say something that made no sense."
She's the key.
Yeah,
she's the key, Bruce.
Martha, it was like
no. He said she's the key, Bruce, because he was talking about Lois. The Martha thing is at the end of the movie. Dumbest thing ever.
Yeah. If
you talk to anybody on a Snyder Bro on Twitter about it, they will not fucking.
Actually,
they'll be like, anytime you say anything bad about it, they'll argue with you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, they won't admit that what's his name, the fucker that's Lex Luthor.
Yeah, that guy.
He was a miscast. It was a poor decision. He plays more of a Riddler, if anything.
Yeah.
And the ending is stupid. And also, one point that I feel is really strong. Kevin Costner in Man of Steel, he didn't have to die. Superman could have flown fast enough at the point where he's moving faster than people can see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he could have saved him. But it's supposed to represent, like, you can't save everybody.
Ooh, iconic meme.
Then my ass die, for real, for real. Yeah. Who wants to take us out? At 100 subs, Drunk Gred episode, we will be drinking.
I do it every day.
I do it to
cigarettes?
feel.
Maybe.
Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe. Follow us on other platforms if you so choose. And don't kill yourself.